Dang, guys, it's finally here. Welcome to episode 17 of the Big Boy Basics. We're going to get into the program, how we're going to program all these videos together, all these exercises. Disclaimer as usual, there are many other approaches. This is just how I like to do a 3 times full body split. And make sure you stick around for the video, guys, because I really do have a treat for you. Now, here is the workout key. Now, I'm not going to read everything because you guys can read it for yourself, but I just want to highlight some points of the reasoning for the exercise selection. So I kind of do have a squat, bench, deadlift approach. You know, if your quads, you're probably going to squat, flash bench, and then a heavy pull, which is probably your deadlift. So you get to practice all 3. But after that, on day 1, you are doing a shoulder pushing, and then you're doing a chest fly, because on the second day, you're going to bench. So you're not benching and then doing a shoulder push on the same day. And generally with the shoulder push, that's more taxing than a chest fly. So that's earlier in the exercise order. If you want to prioritize something in this program, put something earlier in the program because you'll be fresher for it. But I would not change usually the first 3 exercises because those are going to be your heaviest compounds in this program. Now, making note of that, you notice triceps are always first in the program, then you have biceps and abs. If you guys want to prioritize something, like you really want your biceps over your triceps, maybe mix it up on some days. Maybe one day put your biceps first, put your triceps second. Maybe one day have your triceps first and your biceps second, or just switch it completely. I don't really care. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference, but if you really do want to prioritize something, shift it earlier in the program. I just generally program abs last because that's how I like to do it. I don't want to train my compounds with sore abs, so that's my general last exercise. Now, as we talked about exercise order, you notice each one is in a different spot. So you have quads first on the first day, second on the third, then third on the third. Bench gets priority on the second day, and then you get a heavy pull priority on the third day, right? So there's still different ordering for each exercise, so you can get different priorities throughout the week. And then, you know, the biggest movers where you'll probably pack on the most mass with your squat, bench, and deadlift, and those are the exercises you choose. So I don't expect you guys to remember all of this. So guess what I'm handing out for free? I'm giving you a template that's really easy to follow, free on Google Docs. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of how it's going to work. So I'll start at the bottom. So you can see I have the workout key like we saw in the screenshot. This is just to orient you to the programming. I have general rep ranges on the right, just so you remember them. And then each slot has the exercises I outlined in it. So let's say you want to do barbell back squat on this, and then you don't feel like rowing, you're going to start with the cable row, right? You can choose an Arnold press, it don't matter, whatever fly you prefer. And you can do this for each exercise. Now, I didn't put a drop-down menu for the rep range, because as I said earlier in my rep range video, these are just general recommendations for the rep range. I don't really care if you do a 6 to 8. I don't care if you do a 5 to 7. I don't care if you do a 7 to 9 if you're choosing this, okay? I'm going to leave that for you to type in. I like smaller rep ranges. Some people might like an 8 to 12 rep range to stick with the weight for a little longer. So that's up to you. So you're going to be able to, let's say if you're going to squat, you can do 4 to 7 if you really wanted, okay? I don't care about that. It's not as important, but these are, if you need a way to program it, I do have my general rep ranges on the right if you want to type it in. Now with this, now with the file, I'm going to put it in a link in the description, and I do have it locked, so you're not going to be able to adjust anything. So what you're going to have to do is go over to File, and then make a copy for your Google Docs. And when you make that copy, then you should be able to edit the document. See, so now I can use all the drop-down menus I have programmed in here. So don't try to do that. Make sure you make a copy. If you have issues with that, let's go back. You can also download it into a Excel file, a PDF, but the PDF wouldn't make sense because it has the drop-down menus, okay? So if you're telling me the spreadsheet is not working, make sure it's not user error first, okay? So for programming notes in this program, if you want to modify it a little, I do give a bunch of rep ranges, but for deadlift, if you're going to do that, it might be wise just to stick with 4 to 6 reps. I think most people beyond that really just fatigue themselves past that point. So I would stick with the lower rep range for deadlift just in general. Now, as we talked about earlier, I only program hamstrings once a week, but you're also deadlifting. But if you want to replace the bicep or tricep slot on day 1, you can make that a leg curl slot. And then on the normal hamstring slot, you can make that a hinge. So that way you're getting both functions of the hamstring in your program, and you're just sacrificing either a little bicep or tricep volume. If you do want glute work, Feel free to take out one of the tricep and bicep exercises on one of the days and replace it with hip thrusts and the good girl/bad girl machine, or whatever glute exercises you enjoy. So if you really don't need 6 to 9 weekly sets of biceps and triceps, take one of those days out, replace it with some accessory work that you'd rather do on different body parts. Now, for most exercises in this program, I would start for 3 sets of each for easiness sake, and you can adjust your volume as you progress on the program. Although on your biceps and triceps, you might be able to get away with 2 sets for each if you're just starting out. Again, they're used in many movements, so they're going to get some stimulus. So if you're just starting out, maybe 9 weekly sets is a little overkill considering all your compounds. So if you want to start on the lower end and slowly milk those gains instead, 6 weekly sets or 2 sets per exercise might be worth it in the beginning. In your beginning stages, you really might not think that's a lot, but I'm still growing at 10 weekly sets for biceps and triceps, and I'm quite far into this game, so I really think you can start lower and slowly milk that. Also, if you do want to incorporate supersets, this is how I do it for this program. You can use it to shorten your workouts because you are doing 7 exercises per day, so that might be long for some people. What a superset is really is you're just doing 1 exercise, resting 0 to 30 seconds. You can go straight into it. I usually give myself just like a 15-30 second break, then do a different exercise, then rest the full allotted times. So you generally can do this for like biceps and triceps, but honestly, you can pair any isolations. I don't care if you do like your abs and then your lateral raises. It doesn't matter to me. I just generally don't do these with compounds for supersets because in this program, your volume is quite low. So if you're going into your back squat and then into your row, you really might not be fully rested for either because I'm expecting you to pull heavy and to pull close to failure to make up for that lack of volume in this program because you're only at 9 weekly sets. So be close to failure, and I would not recommend supersetting your compounds in this program. If you had higher volume, it might make sense to save time, but we're really just maximizing those sets. We're really trying to push hard on those sets, which is why volume is low. So superset your isolations on this one. I don't recommend supersetting your compounds. Now, this is really something I should have touched upon earlier in the Big Boy Basics, and I was super surprised I completely forgot to mention it. But all your workouts must be kept track of. Every single set, every single rep. You have to track all this in something. You're not going to remember every set, every rep, all your weights used for all 21 exercises in this program. You're not going to remember that. You're not that smart, okay? Log it in a book, log it in an app, just keep something consistent. I've been using FitNotes for years. I see Heavy Workout Logger on the App Store as well. I don't care what you use. Just use something. Be consistent because then you know if you need to get that extra rep where you were at. So there's no guessing ever. And it makes it a lot more fun to see your progress. There's no guessing if you're making progress, if you're getting extra reps or extra weight on the bar, right? So keeping track makes this a lot easier process. And I guarantee you will get better gains if you keep track. And I don't guarantee things that often. Now for a more complicated question. How often are we changing exercises or rep ranges? And this is really a it depends kind of question. Is there a certain exercise you notice is bothering you? Swap that one out. That would make sense. Do you need to experiment and see what exercises you like? Are you a complete noob and you've barely tried any exercises? Maybe this is something you need to experiment with and then see what exercises you like. And how long have you been working for? Have you milked tricep extensions for 5 years and never tried a different tricep extension? Maybe it's finally time. And then also, what exercise is it? Right? On a bench press, you can probably keep bench pressing the rest of your life. But a shoulder lateral raise, what are you going to max out at like 40 pounds and you can't do anything else, right? So maybe that's one to swap out at some point. So completely blanket recommendations, and this does not apply to everyone. This is just a fat blanket statement that might be wrong for a lot of people, but just for a recommendation for you guys. You can keep an exercise, I'd say for at least 2 to 3 months to figure out if you like it and how to do it. So give yourself that time frame to try out an exercise, see how you progress. Are you connecting with it? If not, maybe try a different exercise in the program. And if you've been using an exercise for a long time and you can't add another rep after a couple workouts, maybe change the rep range or the exercise. And I am assuming your sleep, nutrition, and stress management is on point. If these aren't on point, that's probably the reason you're not progressing compared to the actual exercise or the rep range in your beginning stages. As you get more advanced, you might need to switch out exercises more often. But in the beginning, you can milk the same exercise for a long time because you really should just be skyrocketing on those newbie gains. So if you're really struggling progressing, I would check your sleep, your nutrition, and your stress management, and then your mindset in the gym as well. Are you really wanting that extra rep, or are you just calling it shorts and quitting when you know you could if you just gave it a little more effort. And then deloads. This was a controversial topic a couple months ago, whatever it was. So me personally, I generally deload every 2 to 3 months, depending how my joints feel. I don't exercise at all during this period. Some people like knock down their weights by 50%, keep their volume. Some people knock down their volume. I just don't do nothing, and I foam roll and stretch for a week. It's just a mental break. You know, you're not going to rot away not going to the gym for a week. It doesn't disappear that fast if you're natty, right? So caveats to this, if you miss exercise days and then have to take like a week off for life happenings, that counts as your deload, right? You're not in the gym, you're not exercising, your body's resting, hopefully. So I'd count that as the deload. Now with deloads, some people don't find them necessary, but I also use it as a mental break. It's part of my training plan when I see fit. I don't see a reason not to deload, honestly. People say, you know, if you deloaded every 3 months, what is that, 4 weeks off in the year? Boo-hoo, guys, whatever. If this is a lifetime habit, I don't really care about missing even a year of gains, okay? After your 5-year mark, it's kind of slow, so whatever. You're gonna be elite bodybuilder. I'm not. I just like working out. So, all right. I'm not gonna cry about it. I'm not trying to be a professional bodybuilder or professional powerlifter, okay? So just keep your goals in your mind. You know, if you need that mental break with a deload, take that mental break. If your joints are feeling achy, take that deload, okay? Don't overcomplicate this thought. But remember, being consistent is super important, so make sure it's that balance. Make sure you're not deloading every 3 weeks and really you're just being lazy, okay? If you feel you need it, take it. So this is really towards the end of the big boy workouts. Next, we're gonna go over sample workout days. So I'm gonna do a full body workout day 1, day 2, and day 3. So you guys can just kind of follow along and see how the flow of the workout goes. I hope you enjoyed the series so far. We're close to that super long video. It's probably gonna be like 3 hours long when I finally upload it. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like down below. Again, the program is free in the description. If you really did enjoy it, maybe leave a super thanks. That's enabled on my channel. I have monetization now, so at least I make a couple bucks now, which is pretty nice. Anyways, see you on the next video. Peace.